Hey guys, it is Becky Call, realtor with Keller Williams Realty. I am here with my friend Jordan Surratt. Jordan, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Jordan with Greenlight Properties at Keller Williams Greenville Central off of Butler Road in Greenville.
Awesome. So I was tasked with bringing you in here today to talk about a topic in real estate. And everybody wants to talk about interest rates rising or the shortage of homes or what buyers are supposed to do. But I think the most under talked about part of real estate is the relationship side.
Oh, absolutely. I agree completely.
Where would you go with that conversation?
God, we can start anywhere. So the big thing is, a lot of people think, well, real estate is, this or is that and what it all boils down to is real estate is actually just a relationship business. We are tasked with building those relationships and taking care of our clients and making sure that we have that relationship with them. So we have a foundation to make sure that they're taken care of.
That is one thing that has just really hit home for me recently for some reason. I'm coming to a place in my business where I feel like I don't want to say successful, but I'm able to be carrying a lot of deals and doing well. And I'm very thankful for it. But it's not any deals to me that keeps me going. It's just the love for the people that I have that I'm working with. And I know we kind of have a mutual client, do we want to call him right now?
For sure.
That we would willingly give an arm, a leg, and probably both of our vehicles just to get him to have a house.
I mean, we kind of have. That's what it's all about, though. I mean, making sure that people are in a position to where they're going to be happy because, a real estate investment is one of the most expensive things you'll ever buy, right? So, we want to make sure that we have that relationshap with them and we know them so that when they get in that home, that they're happy. And then we can check back in, occasionally and say, hey, what's going on? Or, maybe get invited to their barbecues or whatever and kind of see that process along the way. But that's what kind of makes us who we are.
So I have mentioned to you, I had gone to college and graduated with a degree in psychology, minored in child advocacies. I had no idea how much that was going to impact my real estate career. So I think one thing I've noticed too is how much we go through with our clients and how as much as our clients need to vet us as their realtors, we need to vet our clients as well, because once we enter this relationship together, we do life together.
Oh, absolutely.
This is not a transaction. This is not a sales job.
Correct.
This is we're going to go through divorces and we're going to have babies and we are
going... And marriages. Don't forget, we're going to go through marriages too.
You're going to step on my toe again.
Oh, sorry. we're going to have children and grandchildren and new puppies and...
We're going to have mental breakdowns. There's going to be deaths. We have to work through all sorts of things together.
Absolutely.
And so it's what is my ability to work with you at your highest and your lowest? And what's your ability to work with me?
Sure.
People don't realize that.
They don't. And I think the approach is, well, they're my realtor or whatever, but we're actually much more than that. I've had clients call me their therapist before. There's a whole slew of titles that kind of fit under the realtor brand.
Right.
Because you have to be all of those because again, you're walking through this life event with these people and you have to be prepared for anything and be able to do things like I've bought groceries for clients before because they just didn't have time or whatever was going on, and it's all about making sure that they're taken care of and that they're happy and that they're a long-term relationship for you.
I've had to go hold a horse for a farrier for a client that was out of town, and the horse's the halter snapped, and I have this loose horse. I have no treats with me, and I had no idea what to do. There are so many parts of our job that people don't realize that goes into this.
No, we need to unpack that. What happened in that situation?
So I was at this farm, and I just sat there. I was in the beginning of my real estate career, probably 3 months in. Really,
so Tryon, Landrum area?
Yeah, Green Creek.
Okay.
So I get out to this house, and I really wanted to sell this property. It was for one of my girlfriends, but she was going to be a buyer, and at the time they were looking up to $500,000. Not that volume ever changes what I do, but at that time it was a huge thing. Yes, if you're trusting me with this business, I'm willing to go help you with your horse, as long as you know I'm not a horse person. I love horses. I just am not a rider, things like that. So I go out to this property and she's like, you just have to hold it. Very docile horse, totally fine. Farrier will be there. Horse freaks and just starts walking off. The farrier's looking at me like, I can't touch the horse. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to do this. So this random girl pops up out of nowhere with treats in her pocket and just gets the horse back, ties it back up. Everything's fine. And she's just like, not a horse person, are you? I was like, no, I'm not. But thank you for being here.
That's hilarious.
Her name was Rosie. I'll never forget her.
I bet.
So
So I was out at a property once and had the I was taking pictures for the insurance guy because the insurance guy couldn't get there to get a picture so that he could write a policy
Right.
on it, whatever. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll go do it because we do all the things, you know. And there were 3 dogs in the back, and I left the gate just barely open so that I could get a kind of just squeeze in or whatever and like get out if I needed to, whatever. Super friendly dogs, nice dogs, whatever. But so they squeezed through that gate and pushed it open.
Of course they did.
Yeah, of course they did.
Rookie mistake.
Right, for sure.
Bro.
And I mean this was like 10 years ago, but 12 years ago. Maybe more.
When you were
Anyway,
baby.
right. Well, I was still like 4 or 5 years in.
Keep going.
But anyway, so they squeeze out and I'm like, oh my gosh, instant panic, right? So I run out and I'm like chasing the dogs through this neighborhood, and I realize that they think I'm playing now. So I turn around and run the opposite direction. They catch sight of me, take off running, chasing me now. I run right back through the gate, wait for them to go in, shut the gate, get my picture, I'm done. So
Nice.
yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
So tell me about one relationship that you've developed that really stands out to you that you've built with your client.
God, I have to pick one.
Just one that pops to mind. It doesn't have to be the best one, worst one.
So probably a relationship with an entire family, actually. They've become very close friends with us, and we take our kids over, and she has so her kids live with her, and then she has grandkids and whatnot. And so we go over and we take our kids to play with them, and they have like all kinds of farm animals and ducks and guinea chickens or something like
Nice.
that, like all these things, right? And my kids love it. And so it's a lot of fun. But so I got with them probably 2013, 2014, around then, and ended up selling 3 houses directly because of them. One was the original people that I got in touch with, and then her parents as well. And then I sold another house across the street from her dad because they raved about how great I did for them. But so I sold both of these houses all within a small time frame, and then helped them buy one bigger house that would fit the mom, the dad, her parents, her children, and their children, like a
That's
large
awesome.
house, you know. And so they needed 2 living areas. They wanted land because they wanted all the farm animals and all of that. And it was a process because there were so many moving parts with everything. And they needed a little bit of a lease back because they needed that extra time because they were also moving her parents. And so we had to work that into the deal. And it was just, I mean, it was a struggle overall, but it all played out very well.
And those are the
Everything
things
came together.
that people don't realize all that goes behind the scenes.
Right.
I feel like there's such this misconception that people look at realtors and like, you just go and you show a house, you write a contract, and you
Right.
cash a
Yeah.
check, and it's like, whoa, who's doing that in
I
real estate?
wish.
Because I'd love to sign up for that job.
Right, exactly.
I think right now one of my best relationships with like a current client that I'm working with came to me as a referral. I want to say in October last year. Some family things were going on, and just looking to get a second home or whatever was going on, and we bought a house up in North Carolina for probably $220,000, and then I had a great time, and then she decided to sell that. So we sold that house again, and then they decided to sell their farm. It's like 133 acres with 2 properties on it to go and buy in North Carolina a smaller farm that they want to make a retreat for pastors to be able to go to really just take care of pastors to avoid burnout and whatever else. But it's just such an incredible thing to be a part of this and see it start to finish and then go through the life with them, just knowing that there's like an eternal difference here too. And this isn't just you see things on the internet where people are checking off boxes for how many houses they sold.
Yep.
What they're not showing is how many people's lives have changed in the process, and the love that went into this entire thing, and the praying behind the scenes, and the late night phone conversations, and the early morning talking somebody like off of a ledge, more or less, of like, this is going to be okay.
Sure.
We're going to get you through this. This is what I do all day long.
Right.
And you have to trust me with this. And I think that's another thing that people really need to think about when you're looking to work with a realtor is, And I hate to say this, but like, are you a part-time realtor? Are you a full-time realtor? What are your needs
Absolutely.
while we're going through this?
Absolutely. And that's the big distinguishment between, real estate agents. You have the part-time agents that are just kind of doing it as a hobby and whatnot, and great for them, nothing
Right.
against them. But at the same time, you also have the full-time agents who get up at, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. or whatever, and then get to work.
Right.
And then, we can take care of you midday, morning, noon, or night kind of thing. Whether it's a showing at 8 o'clock, so I have a client right now that's a doctor. And so he works 7 to 7 on his shifts.
Right.
And so sometimes I get that phone call at 7:15 that says, hey, I just saw this house. I'm just getting off work. Can we go see it at 7:30 or 8 o'clock? And so I'm like, I know we have to do that, because especially in the upstate, the market being where it is, if we don't go see it, it's probably not going to be there tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, there's a chance that it is, but it
might
it's
be there
likely
with
that
some
it's
offers
not.
on it.
Right, exactly. So like, I know that I have to go show that house right then. So on a whim, and it's just being able to do that for your client and be there when you need them and be able to take care of things when they need to be taken care of.
Right. I feel like real estate is not a job, and it's like not even a career at this point anymore for me. It's become a lifestyle.
It is. It's 100% a lifestyle.
So before I was in real estate, I was serving tables, and I loved serving tables. I was at Hare and Hunt in Landrum. Those were my people. It is like a Cheers type of restaurant, and I love that place with my whole heart. But I just remember praying, like, Lord, I know that I was made for more than serving tables, and I love to be with people so much. If you could just open up a door for me where I could just love people and serve them, that would be my dream job. And then he was like, okay, cool, here's real estate. And I was like, oh, sweet. So I tried to do the whole like serving table thing for a little while I was getting into real estate, and I couldn't do the part-time realtor. People would call me while I was trying to serve tables. I couldn't focus on my tables, and I couldn't focus on my clients. So I give so many props to people that can do real estate part-time. I just couldn't do a great job at it. And I couldn't take pride in what I was doing for my clients that way.
And again, it's all part of scheduling. So I live by my calendar.
Right.
So if it's not in my calendar, it just doesn't exist. So as soon as something happens, as soon as something schedules, if somebody says, hey, you want to come do a podcast with me at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or whatever
Nobody
it is
would do
today, then I have to put it in my schedule right then, because then I know, okay, this is how I have to work around this. And, and then if somebody calls me and says, hey, we need to go do this, I've got something there. And, so it's just, it's all about time management and just being able to, again, be there for your client.
So, some newer realtors have come through the office and they'll ask for advice and whatever. And I remember being a new realtor and somebody had told me, don't waste your time with other realtors. Don't go to those functions. You have to be out you have to be out with the public finding business. That was something that I knew better. Like, I'm so thankful for my dad being who my dad is, because he taught me the power of networking. So I would go to every networking event. And that is probably one of the best things I did, keeping on the topic of relationships, is building those relationships with other realtors, because we're going to be across the closing table from each other. We have to work with each other. And out the gate, some of what had kept me going was working like agent referrals for other agents that couldn't get it because they knew that I was hungry, I was after it. They had given me some business to stand on my own two legs with that then I could take to my sphere of influence and say, look what I've done. I never would have done that without building those relationships with everybody else.
See, that's the worst advice anyone could ever give you.
Right.
Like talk to everybody, develop a relationship with everybody that you can, because you never know what you're going to be able to help them with or what they're going to be able to help you with. Like, one case is I developed a relationship with an agent in my office, and she called me and said, hey, I've got this client that I think they're a better fit for you. Can we maybe set something up? And it turned out I was a better fit. I just, personality matches and whatnot, and knowing how people work well together, like you want to be able to have that. And I have agents that I know, like if I can't connect with a certain client, but I know, oh my gosh, Becky will absolutely connect with this person, then I have that relationship and I know that you're my go-to. And, or if I have a marketing question or whatever it may be, somebody that I can go to and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
Or they can come to me and say the same thing. I mean, my office door is always open when I'm there, because I want people to know that they can come to me and talk to me. And if you need help, like, I'm there. Like let me help you. Please let me help you.
I feel like most of what our job is finding out the answers to questions.
Oh.
And in order to do that,
Absolutely.
we need to know where to go to find the answers. The relationships we have with closing attorneys, that we have with the lenders, that we have with other agents, with brokers, my company, your company, wherever it is, the more people that we're able to call and talk to and brainstorm with, like I feel like that's where all of this growth is.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite agents that I have stayed in touch with is out of Nashville, and he can answer some questions for me that I just don't know just from a more global level. Like, hey, I might be so zoomed in here because I work the Western North Carolina, upstate of South Carolina so much. What does this look like for you where you guys are? And it just adds depth to who I am. So,
but you also have that relationship because now you know that you can trust him with your clients.
Right.
So if you have somebody moving to the Nashville area, you can call him and be like, hey, I really need you to take care of these people. These are my people. I need you to make sure that they get the house that they want. And if you need anything, call me. But you have that connection. Not talking to other agents or whoever. Like that's terrible advice.
No. And another question I've had from other agents that are newer asking me, hey, I'm really introverted. I'm scared to talk to people. How do I do this? I don't have the answer for you. I am not afraid to talk to anybody. I am in your face all the time with my personality.
Go start
I need
a conversation.
To dial it down a little bit, but just talk to people.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid
Literally,
to talk.
just, hey, how's the weather? Like, I mean,
Right.
start there or whatever, it just start the conversation and see where it goes.
Well, speaking of talking, you and I will talk for the rest of our lives. So we'll give everybody a break. We'll come back another day for round 2. But in the meantime, I am Becky Call with Keller Williams Realty out of Spartanburg, dual license in North and South Carolina.
And I'm Jordan Surratt, Green Oak Properties at Keller Williams Greenville Central, covering all the upstate. And we done?
We're done.
Okay.
Thanks.
See you guys.
See you next time.